Hey,
What up?
what up?
How you
What's
doing?
up? Doing good, man. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I am fantastic. I'm a bit cold and nippy out here, but I know I'm the last one to complain about cold.
I was gonna say, dude, you said you're talking about. Do you know what the temperature is right now here in
I don't
Michigan?
want to know what the temperature is right now.
It is 18 degrees, bro, and that's warm, bro. It was 11 degrees a couple days ago, dog. So
Why do you people do this to yourselves intentionally?
I don't know, for cheaper, like cheaper rent, I guess. That's what I'm assuming. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's freezing down here. I'm in my basement and it's cold. It is cold.
Wow. Well, I don't wish any of that on any of the people watching tonight. Hello
No,
to everybody out there in internet land. I hope everybody is well and warm,
except for me.
except for you. Well, I wish you were well and warm too, but
I know,
that's
but
not the
I'm
main
not.
show.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is unfortunately I'm not, but that's okay. That's all right.
I want to remind everybody right off at the beginning of the show, I want to say we're like 40 people away from our next giveaway. It's been slow. I haven't been out there on shows as much, and I don't have very many. I think I have like one show lined up between here and the end of the year. So I haven't been out there recruiting as much, but please spread the word, spread the love, tell everyone you know to subscribe to this channel. We're only like
Please do.
40 people away from a NeoPixel giveaway.
40 people away.
We're getting there. So please like, subscribe, and let all your friends know. Yes, and that we are on time. Hey, look who's in the audience. What's up, Metso?
Yeah. Hey,
So good to
Mesmer's
see you
here.
there.
What's up?
So, my friend, we were talking earlier. We were actually having a pretty good conversations about kind of the future and the things that are coming up in the House of the Mouse when it comes to Star Wars.
Yes, we
And we decided, we should stop talking about this and keep it for the air. Do you
yes.
remember what we were talking about?
I do remember what we were talking about. Do you remember what we were talking about?
No, I
Uh,
can barely remember 10 minutes ago.
we we started talking about how well, we started having a debate, first of all, about definitions of our definitions of retconning, and
That's true. Yes. Okay. I do remember that.
so we were talking about um, basically how the issue with Disney is that they're doing a lot of retconning at this point. And then we kind of got on the subject of our version. I mean, I'm sorry, not our version, but
Our
we got,
definitions.
got on the subject of our definitions. But then we also got on the subject of the biggest retcon that I feel like that has happened. That I feel like was one of the most unnecessary retcons in Star Wars history, and that would be, well, I mean, I might as well just come out and say it. Ray.
Right.
I think I feel like the Star Wars story could have done. I mean, not saying that I don't like the character. I just feel like the Star Wars story could have done so much without
That's
him.
right. We were talking about how much better it would have been if they followed Flynn or followed Finn instead of following Ray.
I mean, granted, in my perfect world, I was telling you that I would love to see them. I mean, if they're gonna bring Ben Solo, bring the twins in. Like, bring the twins in. Have the twins be the protagonist, and Ben Solo be the antagonist, and like, and have the twins just mollywop Ben, and have freaking there's a female and a male twin, so have the female be the strong one with the Force. If you really want to do like the strong and like female empowerment, like, let's do it that way. But bro, you're bringing in a total non sequitur into the game. Like, come on. And
Right. Right.
and and what was the excuse? I'm gonna let you give the excuse that
What was Disney's excuse for bring? Oh, because Kathleen Kennedy said they had no material to draw from.
yeah, they have no material to drop. What are you freaking talking about? You have no material to drop, dude. Like, you have tons of source material. Like,
40 years of source material.
dude, years of source material, man, like, that you could have drawn from, like, and solid source material, not even, like I said, stuff that's technically not canon but still made an amazing freaking story. Like, I mean, come on. Like that's a lame excuse, the lame duck excuse in my eyes. You know, that's like freaking. That's like just because Stan Lee died. That's like saying, "Oh, we don't have no more source material in Marvel because like, dude, no, like, there's tons of people writing about these characters. There is source material that you could pull from, and valid and viable source material. So I don't know. I don't buy that.
So one of the things that I had heard rumblings about, or at least discussion of, was the idea of, do you believe that Star Wars is the Skywalker story, or is Star Wars the entire universe, such as Andor, such as Mandalorian? Are there, or does everything need to revolve around the Skywalkers? Because there's been talks about how there's an opportunity now. Of course, Mark Hamill has not been shy about saying how he felt cheated out of his scene with Harrison and Carrie Fisher
Yeah,
having the old crew back together again.
of course, of
But they
course.
were talking about the idea of, with the Mandalorian, and the introduction of Luke Skywalker into that universe, that there is a chance to bring back the younger Princess Leia and the younger Han Solo back and bring the trilogy like that.
Well, I mean, to kind of like surmise all that, I feel like it was supposed to be the Skywalkers. Like it was supposed to be about the Skywalker legacy. That's originally what it was supposed to be about. And I think there's, like I said, there's a lot of canon, a lot of lore, or like I say, maybe not canon, but a lot of lore that does still centralize around the Skywalker legacy. But we've seen that it doesn't have to be, with, like you said, shows like Andor and The Mandalorian. It doesn't have to be. Or if need be, slide them in for a freaking cool little cameo and then, back up off it and write a new story. It's okay. I think it's okay because I love the Mando and like I said, in fact, the Mandalorian and freaking Andor are two of my favorite expanded universes, like series that are out there. Like, I love Andor. Andor is great, bro. I love Andor as a character in Rogue One. I love Andor as a standalone show. I'm sorry, I still like the Acolyte. I thought the Acolyte was really good. You can come for me in the comments. I don't know. I don't know, but like, yeah, I still like the Acolyte. And dude, the man, and you know what? I like Boba Fett, bro. I love all of the little offshoots, but I don't know. That's just me.
Right. I think there is plenty that can be done, and I personally don't think it needs to always be about the Skywalkers.
I don't think so. I don't think
Although
so.
I feel like the movies should have been, which was why I was disappointed with the whole Rey. Like, I feel like you had pretty much told the story when you finished up with with episode 6.
I mean, the thing is that why Ray? Like I said, I don't want to act like I'm like one of these guys crapping on the character Ray, because I'm not. Like, I mean,
Right.
I think, for how do I say this without sounding like a total d-bag?
Chauvinist.
I think Ray was a very cool character, and she could have been a tertiary character. She could have totally been a almost a sub main character, if you will. But I don't know. I feel like those movies, like I said, they deserve the Skywalker legacy, and I felt like I said, I felt like there's so much more material they could have drawn from to freaking to kind of expand that. Like I said, dude, use the twins, dude. Like where's Mara Jade at? Like, I mean, come on, like there's some.
I like what uh K-Hog Kevin is saying over here. He said the Book of Boba Fett with the Sand People was amazing.
I
I
agree.
really like how they brought out a lot more of that culture, because you always just saw Sand People as side characters. You didn't really delve into them, but to
Yeah,
really see their culture and how they survive and they exist was really cool.
I 100% agree with that, Kevin. Like, and that's kind of my whole kind of main thing with the whole retconning. Like, they kind of retcon the whole thing in order to bring Boba Fett back. Nobody was
Right.
mad about that. No one was mad about that. Like I love Boba Fett, and no one was mad about the fact that he was able to crawl out of the Sarlacc pit. As unlikely as that may have seemed, like, nobody was upset about it. You can do retcons as long as you give us, something we want. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like they could have done a kind of a retcon ability with these last three movies and not gone totally off the rails. Like I said,
Right.
they could have done it. And like I said, I totally agree about that whole Boba Fett. I love Book of Boba Fett. I'm awesome. That's awesome. And I love the substance they gave the Sand People. Like I love that.
Right. Right. That was definitely appreciated and included. With Ray, I felt like like the term Mary Sue got bounced around a lot. That's how I kind of felt with it. Like I said, I really wanted Force Awakens to be a story about Finn and finding out because at that
Bro,
point you never knew about stormtroopers being just like regular people. And
yeah,
so, like, I wanted to see the story of this regular guy who maybe was on the dark side and has learned to go to the light side.
I
That's
also
what I thought we were gonna get.
I thought we were gonna get something that divulging into the life of a stormtrooper. Something going like a deeper story within it. All stormtroopers were fodder for for Chewbacca and Han Solo for blaster practice, bro. That's all stormtroopers were. And when we saw him take off his mask, like we kind of got the impression that he was gonna be like an actual character. We never thought of stormtroopers as characters. That was
Right.
compelling. That was compelling. That was something that drew us in, and that's kind of like I kind of feel like I got duped on that one. They kind of drew us in on it, and then they
And
didn't
then
even
give
think
us
it.
some different
Yeah,
story.
yeah, dude. Like I don't know. They could have given us something better though. Like I said, I feel like they could have given us something better. I do. I will say I do like what the story that was woven from what they were given. I will say that. Like I will say that it wasn't. It could have been worse, if you will. I mean, it wasn't a total Jar Jar. Like it was, like.
It was exactly the same as Star Wars. I mean, right down to the Death Star to have
Oh no,
Star
you're
Killer.
right. You're totally right, dude. Like yes, like you're definitely right about that. There was no which I think that's what they were banking on. I think that's what they need. That's what they were hoping it would be that we would
Well,
latch on to it because it was so much like the Star Wars, not realizing that that's not what we wanted. We wanted something in the same universe, but we wanted something different.
well, George Lucas always talks about making it so that each of them rhyme, so that they rhyme with it. But that was straight up plagiarism. There was no rhyming on that. That was just a retelling of the
That
same
was
story.
that was just a retelling of the same story. And yes, Ahsoka was. I want to say that Ahsoka was more than decent. I am looking forward to season 2 of Ahsoka. Ahsoka is always been a favorite character of mine. A character that I was able to enjoy with your son. And I, and I fell in love with Zeo. So like I know and loved that character Ahsoka, and I loved how they sort of just evolved her. Like I like the way she evolved. I like the way they brought in other characters from like Rebels and whatnot as well. Chopper's one of my favorite droids. Like I'm not gonna lie. So I will say that I thought Ahsoka was decent. I've loved a lot of the expanded universe. I love the fact that they're delving deep into General Thrawn because again, I read the books. I've read a lot of the books, and Thrawn was always just a guy that was up here. I never envisioned him ever being brought to a screen. So to see him
Right.
brought to a screen was pretty amazing. So
I,
I'm
I tell
okay
you,
with that.
if we say that Mandalorian is the kind of Star Wars answer to a Western, I feel like Ahsoka is Star Wars answer to Lord of the Rings.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll definitely give you that. I definitely will say that Ahsoka exceeded my expectations. And again, I expected Andor to be really well done. I thought Andor was done really nicely. Um, but you know, I was coming off the premise and the backbone of Rogue One, which again was one of the most still to me one of the most amazing Lucasfilm like projects ever to be made. Like that was such a
Right.
pretty raw movie. I love that movie, and Andor piggybacked well off of it. So I kind of had high hopes, and it did disappoint. Ahsoka, I wasn't sure how that was going to pan out, and I was pleasantly surprised with Ahsoka. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, so somebody pointed something out to me the other day, and then we'll get on to our flow of the show so we can get to
Yeah,
our
no doubt, no
fantastic
doubt. I know
movies.
we got kind of sidetracked on this. Like,
It's easy enough to do. But somebody had brought up the fact of how horrifying, you know, the scene in Rogue One that everybody loves, essentially, is the scene with Vader, right? But there
yeah,
was something that this person caught that I never caught in all the times that I watched it, was that if you watch that scene, Vader, you can't hear Vader breathe until he takes that first breath, and then his blade goes on, which means he essentially held his breath because he knew it would freak the other guys out a lot more if they didn't know what was coming.
I never, ever, ever, ever
He had to hold
thought
his
about
breath.
that. He held his breath, which couldn't be that comfortable for a guy that's got lung issues, like that's got
Right.
respiratory issues. That couldn't be that comfortable at all. Like I can't imagine that being comfortable. So that is crazy. He held his breath.
And then he started breathing and turned on his blade just to make it that much more horrifying
Just
for
to
the
make it
people that were in that
that
tunnel.
much more scary, dude. Like he sacrificed his inhaler in order to to drive fear into the hearts of the rest, which they were
Okay.
already scared crapless anyway. So
And another thing that they had pointed out that I was like, wow, that's pretty intense, about how intense that scene was. You know, like most of the time when you see Vader and he's like choking people out, he's got his hands like this and he's just barely twisting, right?
yeah, yeah,
When he threw that guy up to the roof, he crushed his throat like he said,
I
fuck.
know. Like to me, that scene, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That scene, we always imagine how that scene went because we saw the aftermath of it
Right.
as in, you know, watching the trilogy, like watching the original trilogy. Um, so to see how that to see that reimagining of it, and obviously to be technologically able to do that, that was awesome, bro. Like that was such a valid way to end that movie. Like that was such a like that movie was just great in all forms of like in all aspects. But that was the way to end the movie, bro. To
Right.
end the movie with a beginning to another movie. Basically, that was to me that was genius. That was genius to me. Like I said, Rogue One will still be my top Star Wars movie, new Star Wars movie of all time.
I totally agree with you. Rogue One was my favorite. It was a great way to come into the series. It
Yes.
gave me a lot of hope about Disney, especially since I didn't think Disney would allow their movies to go dark at all. And as dark, Rogue One was dark, dude.
Rogue One was dark, bro. Like the way that movie started, that was dark, dude. And so like I wasn't expecting them to be able to really want to go there either. But again, it's kind of like it was a one-off, man. They haven't done it since, man. They haven't. Like they shot their shot, bro. Like I feel like, dude, like I don't know, man. Like I'm Disney.
I will say this. I will say this. And we'll end this here. We were talking about a couple of different characters, and Disney has already, through their marketing, given hints that they were going to see things later. For example, they've released the Darth Revan and the Mara Jade lightsabers, and they don't release stuff for stuff that's not canon.
Yeah.
So I think this gives us some hope for stuff that we're going to see in the future. I just
Well,
hope it's not dead for the majority of the fans.
I mean, you know what? I feel like if you do Darth Revan right, then you can do it well. Mara Jade, again, a character that I've been wanting to see in the universe. Uh, Again, like I said, if you're gonna follow along a lot of that storyline, I was kind of hoping to see that within the last like three movies. Like I said,
Right.
I wanted to see the twins. Like I could have totally like even if they wanted to put their own spin on it, I could have totally seen the twins battling freaking Ben Solo, bro, and just like freaking having at it. And like I said, we could have still stuck with the whole girl power thing. You know, made the female twin like made her what? I'm drawing a blank on her name. But anyways,
OSHA and oh god, OSHA was the easy one to remember. What was this?
no, not the Acolyte twins.
Oh,
I'm talking about the Solo twins.
oh, Jason and
Jason and yes, they should have. Like I said, they could have used those twins and really like tied that whole thing together. Have it be like just a gruesome family reunion by that last movie, and like have Luke train them, like have Luke train the twins, like retrain them. Like it could have been so cool. Why bring in a character that you didn't need to bring in when you had a pool of other characters that you could have chose from? Like I don't know.
So I want to respond to something Say Wong said here really quickly. Is wait, where is it? Disney has plenty of announcements that never come to fruition, which is very true. However, I do want to say that their marketing tends to be different. Their announcements and what they're announcing for D23 and announcing for Comic-Con and stuff, that stuff changes all the time. But a lot of times with their marketing is a preview of what's to come out soon. So
and they don't like
when they actually start putting out action figures and toys of things, I feel more hopeful that is actually coming.
Yeah, because they're putting money into it and they don't like to spend money that they don't have to spend. Like if they're going to spend money, they're spending money to make money. Like that's they're doing. Like
Jason and Jaina. Jaina was the other
Jaina, that's who it was. Thank you. And
well, then they took and jumbled them up.
Yeah, and I get that was the kind of inevitability, but I wish they would have taken a different route in that, because there was three solo children. They could have, like I said, they could have
and Ben, right?
There was Anakin. They had Anakin.
Yeah.
Anakin was the youngest, the most powerful one of all out of Jason and Jaina. So like I feel like they could have done something with that trinamic, if you will, like instead of a dynamic trinamic, you like what I did there. Anyways, I think they could have done something with that trinamic more so than where they went with this whole thing, because I guess essentially you're right. That's where they were going with the Jason and Jaina thing, and that's where they went with the Rey and Ben. But I don't know. I feel like they could have done, or they could have tied it all together and had Jason and Jaina fighting against a reincarnation of Anakin, which is the reincarnation of his dead dad. Have that be the driving force, like of his dead grandfather. Like I don't know. I think the story could have been a little more interwoven than just bringing some random Skywalker into play. I don't know. But
right.
Anyway,
I know we have an incredible guest that's waiting for us.
Yes, we do.
Let's do the flow after our guest. How about that?
You want to do the show? You want to do flow of the show after our guest?
Yeah, we'll do the flow after. We're gonna mix it up just because actually he's down there waiting right now.
Yeah, he's down there waiting. He's waiting. So I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna intro him. I'm just gonna freaking intro.
Are you there? Oh, there he is. Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. Well, before you throw the intro, let people know about our who this is today. We our wonderful guest for this evening is no newbie to the show. In fact, not only has he been a guest in the guest slot a couple of times, he was actually a producer on this show for a good year, 2 years. God, how long did you do that for, Kevin? He did an amazing segment where he would go to different Comic-Cons across the state, and he would take video and photos and let us know about those cons and let us know about future cons that are coming up. Actually, to be honest, it was my favorite segment of the show. But he is still continually going to cons, probably a couple every weekend. And if you have gone to Northern California convention scene, this is someone I'm sure you have at one time or another run into, although with all his costumes, you might not know that you've run into him. So with no further ado, please give it up for Mr. Kevin Hogan. so good to see you tonight.
Oh, it was great seeing you guys. Still rocking the custom Kyber Cave katana you
Woo!
guys made me so many years ago for my
Wow.
Mau fursuit up here.
It's amazing the history of Kyber Cave, like how Kyber Cave has changed and evolved over the years. We don't even do the customs like that anymore. So you have a
Ah,
very rare piece there.
what a time.
And you've been around Kyber Cave for quite some time. God, how long have I known you, Kev?
Oh, it's been going on at least 5+ years now, I think. Back in the day when you got the dojo and everyone was just beating nothing out of each other. Really.
Now, were you hanging out with us before the dojo, or was it when we had the dojo? Because we used to do it in the park on the grass on that corner before we got the space there.
I'd only ever heard of you guys. I think it was your last year in the Sun Valley Mall. That was like
Mhm.
the very first I'd actually noticed you guys, but I didn't have a work schedule that let me actually come much of the time.
Right. Well, it is absolutely amazing to me that after all of these years, I think when we were talking to Jomar earlier, he said he knew you back in 2017 on
Yep.
the Comic Con circuit. How long have you been going to cons now?
Yeah, it's coming up close to 10 years now. I'd always only ever heard of San Diego Comic Con as the only thing that ever gets advertised on TV, which is still unfortunately the case. But
Right.
then years ago they finally had I think it was Steve Wozniak. He brought the Comic Con scene to the San Jose Convention Center, which got
Mhm,
on the radio somehow. Fortunately, that I found out about it, and
mhm.
that's when I like you go to one, then you start talking to people. It's like, oh, it's too bad they don't do this more often. Like, oh, don't you know there's something every weekend, and you find out
Right.
the next thing.
Were you instantly addicted, or was it something that kind of had to grow on you?
I had to do a lot of exploring. I mean, fortunately, this is the age of Facebook now and social media, so it's a little easier. But yeah, I whenever I heard about Comic Con, I only ever heard about San Diego. But you have to really dig into it, and then you find there's all these Contra Costa Con over in Concord at the Hilton there. You got all of the um, ones that go all around like Powerhouse Comic Con down in Pleasanton. They all have like their little variation brands of their own. Kyber Con, of course.
Woo!
But yeah, if you dig around, there's something every single weekend. It's just they're in different towns every weekend, so there's tons of stuff to have fun.
Wow. I can't imagine you like now knowing you now, I can't imagine you living in like Iowa or something where there's like 2 cons a year. Like I think you'd be like a crackhead going crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I see these clips of the Southern California ones. They're just like they're packed like so cramped. I'm amazed that anyone can even walk in the door with any props at all. So the Northern California ones have been great. Even the more kind of busy ones like Fanime and Sac Anime that can
Right.
really pack people in there, but you can still kind of walk around and stuff.
Right. What's the furthest you've gone for a con?
The furthest I would go to would be Fresno. They have that free in the mall Comic Con down there in the Clovis area,
The
which
Weekend
has been
Blenders.
that's a great idea for bringing foot traffic back into the malls. I think the Weekend Blender they've expanded it recently to also be in I think the Tracy Mall and the I think it was a Arden Mall near Sacramento,
Right. Citrus
which is
Heights.
really important because you start seeing like the food court being dark, but like, hey, there's all these people now because of the con, so maybe we can
Right.
start reopening some stuff.
Right. And I mean, it's the perfect place too because the malls are a family place. So a lot of times, because I do the weekend blender shows quite often, and it's amazing to see these little kids that like they just came in to come to the shoe store, and all of a sudden there's people walking around with costumes and
Oh
some
yeah,
of their favorite characters. And Woody, John Morrow, has been a regular at a lot of the weekend blender shows, so they can meet Andy from Toy Story.
exactly. Yep. Yeah, saw that guy over there at the Vacaville Airport, that Nut Tree Road there. They
Yeah,
have a little GI Joe toy vendor con every 6 months there.
Yeah, I know that was one of the pictures. Let me see if I can find that photo. That was one of the photos that you had was with John Morrow, who
Oh
which
yeah.
I would like to remind people will be on this show January 4th. It will be our very first show of the year.
Uh,
Um, I figured that was a great way to start. Here we go.
Yeah,
There's
there
Con.
you go.
Yeah, this was at the military con, and then I think is that who's next to him over there? That's is that oh, I'm blanking right now. Return of the Jedi. Um,
Oh, that's Akrib. That's David Gonzalez from Return of the Jedi. You got it.
that's right. Yes, yes. He also has been at our store and on our show as well. It
Oh
is.
yeah.
So what is it that attracted you to the cons? What is it that you really like about it? Is it the costumes? Is it the celebrities? Is it the products that you don't get to see at the mall? What is it that you like about the con? Is it all of it? Is it the food?
I really enjoy the experience of it. Like, I'm not really going so much like because I have to get like Doctor Who's autograph per se, but
Right,
it's
right,
like
right.
the Comic Cons kind of come off as like a contemporary pop culture museum, really. Like you ever go into the mall and you see like Hot Topic or Spencer's, like it just has a bunch of cool stuff, but the
Right.
store itself is so small because they don't think physically fit so much in there. It's like that's why I think the Comic Con has done like a great thing to build up on that because like yeah, like I'd love to see more like what are all the products of Dragon Ball Z besides that one pack of cards they sell at Walmart. It's like,
Right.
it really grows on it, and plus the fans are incredibly creative with all the different cosplays out there. So you see all these different variations of stuff that you would never see Disney or whatever the brand actually do with the character. See all these neat mashups and alterations and stuff.
Right, right, right. And you're into that part of it too. I mean, you do the costumes and the dress up. In fact, one of the things that I admire about you, because I've had interviewed lots of cosplayers, and I see how much money and time and effort. But I really like your philosophy of, you know, as long as people get the idea of what it is, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to make
Yeah,
yourself a screen accurate Marty
yeah.
McFly.
Yeah, I've been doing the cosplay on the budget motivation for a while now. Yeah, yeah, you can just piece together some stuff out of the closet. Sometimes all you really need is just that one shiny hat.
Right, right, right. Right, right. Or the little elements like the hoverboard kind of, kind of
Yeah,
tells you
yeah. I was
tells
walking
you
around with a $9 cardboard hoverboard for the longest time. It wasn't until California summers got so hot that it started to melt. So it's like, all right, I need to invest in an actual plastic one now.
you need to upgrade. Who's your favorite character to do of the characters that you do?
Oh, my favorite, really, this whole time has been Mao Mao, my big smiley face fursuit up here.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
oh yeah, everyone can see him coming from a while away with those 3 foot tall ears there.
How many people actually know or recognize you? Because wasn't Mao Mao on for like 2 seasons on Adult Swim? Like
Yeah,
that is a very obscure cosplay.
yeah, yeah. It was only on for one season in 2019. Then the pandemic happened, and for I don't know where they got the idea, but Cartoon Network decided to go all in on Teen Titans Go. And
Right,
I guess they were trying to compete with Marvel, but like there was nothing else. It was just Teen Titans all the time on that channel. But
right.
yeah, so they kind of cut down their diversity on their broadcasting. But no, a surprising number of people saw it because one of those funny things they do with the broadcast and syndication is that if it goes out of favor in North America, they'll try to bring it back somewhere else. So there's all these like people in Latin America that were just more recently getting the show,
Oh
and so
wow.
so I was seeing for the next couple of years like some cosplayers down in like South America posting online and stuff. So it's like it's a small world.
Right, 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 right. Do you like being the obscure standout character like that, or do you have people come up to you and say, "Who are you?" or "What character are you?"
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I do get that all the time. I would go to the Sacramento Sinister Creature Con up at the Scottish Rite Center, and people would keep saying, "Hey, look, it's Donnie Darko in that big cat suit." Like, yeah, I know.
Johnny Darko is wild. Like that is a wild. That's a wild internet for that one.
It's the smile. It's the smile. That's
I
what it
get it,
is.
but
Like,
it's just like
yeah.
whoa. Okay, like I
No,
didn't.
no, and
I'm sorry. I
more
can
more
totally.
recently, the little kids will be like, "Oh, are you one of the Five Nights at Freddy's from the movie that's not in the game?" Like,
You're like
probably.
six character.
No, yeah, it's one of those things that just kind of blurs together. It's like, yep.
Right, 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 right. Do you does it bother you to have to carry like? Because I think every character I know of that you have has accessories that you have to hold in your hand, except for I think Doc Ock, right? Is that
Yep,
the only
yep,
one that allows you to have hand freedom?
yep. That one was convenient because just tie the shoestrings around my wrist and just kind of pretend to be a puppeteer. That was pretty easy. I mean, no, as long as you keep it kind of manageable. Like I've had my very first cosplay I tried to do, the heavy weapons guy from Team Fortress 2. I had the giant Nerf gun with a sling that would walk around. Yeah, like that. It does get to wear on you, but it's like it helps to try and figure out like, okay, is this something that I can literally shoulder it, or does it have
Right.
like Mao Mao's a katana? Does it have like a little holster? It can just like wear on the belt the whole time. So, I mean,
Right.
that's the kind of advantage of all the Jedi's. It kind of carries itself.
Yeah, I had to learn early on. First off, never choose Sith during the summertime. Always choose Jedi. And secondly, I like the characters where I don't have to have something covering my face. Like I didn't realize how much my face sweats inside any kind of like hooded costume or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I know. It's that fun. It's a funny trip. As hot as all the fursuiters are there at the furry cons, every one of them is wearing a ski mask, a balaclava under it, just to soak up all the sweat. It really does get toasty.
That's crazy. Do you have a fan system in your mouth?
I tried to wear the neck ones for a good while, but I would keep getting like really low quality ones from Amazon. So I
Yeah.
just kind of gave up on it because like that's one of the funny things about Mama is that his eyes are so big. They're basically just like vents. So as long as I like kind of like face myself toward the wind, it's really okay.
Wow. It amazes me to see you wear these things all day long, and I'm like usually just in like my jacket. I'm like sweating over here. I don't know how you do it.
Oh, the people love it. Like, there's so many people throughout the day that just like to see these like unusual and funny characters and stuff like that. Though it really makes people so happy. Like, there's still a lot of people at these cons that really don't do the cosplay at all, but they look so excited when they see them though. So hopefully that kind of encourages people to have more of a fun because
Right.
it's not just like one giant line to get an autograph, but like there is like more fun stuff. You get to like interact with your characters. It's almost like a Disneyland type of thing.
I
Right.
honestly, dude, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think cosplay is so cool, and I've never ever personally, as much as love so many different characters, I've never had the cojones to cosplay, and I don't know if it's just that I didn't feel comfortable in my artistic value of being able to do that. So I commit because I'm one of those guys that I won't necessarily cosplay, but I love to see it, and I fanboy all over people that cosplay, and I'll recognize. Like I said, I love every like nerdy genre you could think of. So it's like I'll recognize this person, and Verona Kinshu, and yet, I'll you Hakushu, and I'll like I love it all. So like I think it's awesome that you guys. I don't have the guts to do it. Like and like I said, I don't know if it's just my fear of 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 being worthy of having a costume that people will be like, oh yay, hey, or they're like, what the heck are you doing there? But I don't know. But I always get excited seeing cosplayers. So
So
like,
see, I was going to ask you, Lynn, would you rather do an obscure character that when people saw it, they absolutely loved him, like, oh my God, he did such and such, or would you rather have a mainstream character that everybody recognizes?
I mean, I would. That's kind of a tough question, which is I think also part of the reason why I don't ever like I haven't had the like I said have had the guts to do it is because I would love to do an obscure character. I see obscure characters all the time, like and I think that they're amazing when people put their heart and soul into it. But I also see just like I see variations of like I just like the the Mandalorian costumes that I see, like just the total spin and just like creativity that people just skyrocket out with some of these costumes. I'm amazed at both aspects of it. So that's a tough question because I don't know if I would be able to do like I guess I would like to go with an obscure character because I know someone would recognize it because we're all at the end of the day nerds, and somebody's gonna recognize you and give you your flowers for it. So like like I said, I think it's awesome nonetheless. So yeah.
What about you, Kevin? Do you prefer the obscure characters that people really like? Oh my god, I can't you believe you did that one, or the more mainstream Marty McFly?
Oh, I would say like whatever looks like something that's most kind of stands out, like that thing that like, oh, I need a picture with that. It just kind of
Mhm.
depends.
Right.
Like I would go to the My Little Pony Con in South San Francisco every year. Only about half the cosplays are actually from the fandom itself. The rest you'll see like Klingons from Star Trek.
Are you
You'll
serious?
see. Oh yeah, there's all these like side fans that will just come but in their own cosplays. So you
Wow.
see a bunch of Trekkies walking around there. You'll see people dressing like the Lion King on Broadway. So yeah,
You know,
it's one of those fun
I've
things.
never really thought about that because I guess most of the cons that I go to are just kind of general con.
Yep,
Um,
yep,
Even Kyber Con wasn't specifically Star Wars, you know what I mean?
yep.
But I never really thought about the fact of people wearing other fandoms at that particular con. Like
Totally.
I just would assume it'd be all ponies at My Little
Yep.
Pony.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's really a rarity to find all those giant suits like that. But no, that's what's the fun of it. It's just people enjoying their own fandoms and bringing that to talk about with other people, and it's a great icebreaker for making new friends because you can say like, "Oh, you like this show that I also like," and I can see you're clearly dressed like it.
Right, right, right. What I love is when I think it's you that I've seen go to a Renaissance fair with your Marty McFly.
Oh, yep, yep, yep.
I
Oh, yeah.
love the crossover is my favorite stuff.
That every single Renaissance fair in Northern California, there's a Doctor Who TARDIS blue police box sitting somewhere there. So I'm not the only time traveler wandering around. So yeah, you don't have to have a full knight in shining armor setup there. They just go and have fun.
I
Right.
honestly, like I said, and I think that is the larger message about cosplaying, which again I love, because I go to Ren fairs too, and I will dress up at a Ren fair. I have dressed up at Ren fairs, but seeing
Did you see that as different as a regular con?
Well, I
no,
mean, it is
no,
outdoors, so you do got to have some good shoes.
yeah, yeah. I did make the mistake of trying to wear. I was a monk, and I tried to wear sandals, and it was not. It was not the business. I will never wear sandals ever again. But but I will say this: like I feel like anybody that's either willing to dress up or go somewhere where dressing up is okay. I think we all agree that it's just awesome, no matter what character you decide to do. But being a Marty
Oh, yeah.
McFly, being at a, I don't think in the grand scheme of things with us nerds, it really doesn't matter. Like
No.
I think it's cool no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be forthright here and say something that probably is not the best thing to say on air, given my platform. But dude, all of the Japanese anime has messed me up, dude. Like I'll go into cons and like I have no idea what character this person is playing, and now I'm the jerk because I don't know.
That's actually been a real big trend on the rise lately. I think especially because so many of their characters have more like casual like costumes because they're just wearing like for example there'll be a guy who's wearing just a suit and pants but it's like
Right,
olive green so like it kind of stands out but it's still something you could find at any suit store. So,
right,
so
right, 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 right.
Yeah,
Have you?
a lot of the new anime characters, like you said, they're not exuberantly dressed, or they don't have like super standoutish features. A lot of them just look like kind of just normal guy in a suit. Like I said, happens to be a gray suit with pinstripes. But
yeah.
like
Yeah, he's got a scar
um,
across his face.
yeah, he has a scar across his eye, like that.
Right.
But again, I still think that regardless of where or what you decide or what character you decide to latch onto or whatnot, I just think it's super awesome to see it because, like I said, I try to immerse myself in many things that in nerdcore as I possibly can, and seeing certain obscure characters or certain characters that may not be recognizable, I think are awesome. Which again, like I said, I love the Marty McFly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping the classics going. It's the the one thing Hollywood hasn't rebooted yet.
Although there is a stage play. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. There is a play. Yeah.
they're I feel like they're gonna. I feel like the reboot is unfortunately imminent. Like I don't want to say, I don't want to jinx it, but
It's one boardroom meeting with the lawyers away from happening. Yep, that's right.
So, what for you? I mean, we're talking about almost 10 years now, and doing this literally every single weekend. You could be going to dramas. You could be going wine tasting. There's so much. You could be kayaking in California. What is it that really draws you to doing this every weekend?
It's so social. Like you get to see people, even at the smaller cons. Um, there's just people from all over that you get to see that otherwise you might never hear from.
Right.
Some people, believe it or not, are not on social media at all that you'll see at some of these events. So if they're not going to con, they just kind of disappear. So-
Mhm. Do you make friends at like these cons that you actually like hang out with in the regular world?
well,
Have you
that
ever
that
like
is
gone to dinner or coffee with any of these people?
that is the challenge though. A lot like I'm like in the middle of the bay in Benicia, and then like
Mhm.
a lot of these folks are like way off by San Jose in the South Bay or further, or up by Sacramento. So that, like I'm ideally positioned to go to both, being right in the middle. But yeah, there are people that are like it's kind of a ways.
Right. But I mean, but again, do you have you had people in the past that you've met at cons and become friends with outside of conventions?
Oh yeah, like it's great. Like it's also helpful to have like apps like Telegram and Discord because then you can like meet up elsewhere and do like some groups like the Sacramento Spider Verse. We'll do like charity events.
Oh,
The
nice.
D Squad. I'm sure you've seen Steve around
Woohoo!
with the R2D2. We
Right.
were just at the Vallejo Mad Hatter Fair Festival and Parade last night in Vallejo, representing all, all the droids there. But
Right.
yeah, there's lots of fun stuff to do that's not necessarily at a con that people can still meet up at and hang out and stuff.
Right. And I know, like, you're also a part of like the furry community, which people, so it has comments on both sides of the board. But like, I've seen you go out to like bowling night and stuff like
Yeah.
that in your costumes.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy to me. You just have like 30 people in costumes invade a bowling alley.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, they reserve the party room so they have somewhere to put all their stuff.
Ah,
but
okay.
but yeah, I mean that's obviously a great thing for the business owners there. They rent out 10 lanes all at once. Is like go for it. They're
Right.
extra accommodating because they let us not rent shoes because the slippers are good enough on the wood floors.
I personally think that is amazing. Like I said, furries and furries alike to me are welcome in our collective nerdom. I just don't know how logistically possible that is to be able to bowl.
That,
But,
that is the fun of it. People wearing the mitten paws that can't reach in the holes, so we just
can't reach the holes.
do
Yeah,
the granny roll every time. And
everybody's doing granny rolls. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's super cool.
but
Like I
yeah,
said,
you guys are going to be seeing a whole bunch more because coming up in January is Further Confusion. That's the biggest furry convention in Northern California every year at the San Jose Convention Center. So they'll
Further
be flooding the
confusion.
Bay Area again.
I love that name. That's a
I was gonna say
fantastic
that's an
name.
awesome name.
And I'm further confused. I would like to know more about this when it comes up.
Oh yeah, it'll be yeah. That's the great thing about San Jose Convention Center. It's big enough to host so much stuff, and it's got those 2 hotels right there. I just wish they would have some way to dig that parking garage deeper because I swear even when I'm like go there right when the cons are opening, it says it's already full.
Right. I've had ideas like okay, so especially people around here. I haven't too much mentioned on the internet, but they know that one of the things that I'm doing my homework phase on right now is kind of opening up a kind of a permanent convention center. But like I've often thought like I want to do different things with mine than I've seen done at traditional conventions. So I don't ever know how much it is to stay, good to just stick to the normal things that people know or to try things that things have been done. Like, for example, on my convention, I want to add in an interactive vaudeville element to my show. So I would love it if, while you were waiting in line to see your favorite celebrity, there was magicians coming up and doing little magic tricks for you, or sword swallowers, or people on unicycles or whatever.
People love that at the Renaissance fairs. The people juggling knives will always have a pack show. They have guys that just show all the different type of whips, and guys that blow the fire just like the old circus show. So people
Yeah.
really like that. Yeah.
Nice. Woo, I might be onto something. Yeah.
Yeah, the most unique thing I saw was, I think, was this most recent Fanime back in May or something. It was the first kind of I'm not sure what the right word for it is, like a podcast con or a VR, where you have the people with the rolling computer monitors just going throughout the con. It looked like Sheldon Cooper from the TV show, and then they'd have their human handler and just making sure no one messed with the machine. So yeah, the
Right.
cons they're evolving. It's not just they're not staying fixed; they are slowly evolving. There, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a really good question to ask you, since you go to so many of them. Lynn and I were talking about, like how static a lot of these cons seem. Like, it seems like when you've been to one con, you've been to all of them. There's going to be a celebrity panel somewhere. There's going to be an artist alley somewhere. There's going to be meet and greets for the different fandoms and different places. Are there? Do you like that sense of knowing what's going to be, or do you like different types of cons, like where you see things like what you were just talking about?
I have gotten to the point, once you've been to a few, you do kind of look for a little more different stuff there. That's what I appreciate about the San Francisco Fan Expo. Like, it does have that stuff, but it does a good job of having a whole bunch of panels run by the fans. So
Mhm.
you can take a break from standing in line to see Luke Skywalker, and you can go see some real astronauts talk about the Artemis program of bringing people back to the moon. You can hear a group of lawyers discuss, was it okay in Rogue One for Poe to shoot that guy so the stormtroopers can interrogate him? Asking the big questions.
Right. The
Yeah.
question that must be answered.
But yeah, it's a good breakup from just walking around like the vendor hall. That's a given, because that's where you see all the cool stuff there. But yeah, it's good to break that up and see oh, here's a panel about this and that, or see Mark Hamill on stage do his Joker impression again, just because.
Right. Really quickly, I don't hear any bleeding noise. If it is something coming from my side, let me know. Here, let me try putting this on mute, and tell me if you hear it still.
I feel like you're getting an echo of some sort. I think that's what I'm getting. I'm not getting it from anywhere else. Oh, well, now I can hear
I just
myself.
heard you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure why we're getting that. I don't. I like.
It's all good here.
Yeah.
It's all good. So, Kevin, do you kind of decide for the year? Like, do you have big ones that okay, I'm going to be at this one and I'm going to be at this one, or do you just kind of let your schedule flow and go wherever you decide to go that week?
I used to plan ahead, but then when the pandemic happened and cons got shut down, but I still had pre-purchased tickets, that kind of threw me out of the purchasing thing. So I've just been kind of playing it by ear ever since. Although, I mean, I get it. Yeah, there's always going to be a SAC anime every few months in Sacramento. But yeah, that kind of threw me out of the planning ahead thing. So now I just kind of play it by ear and see how things are going.
Right. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of cons, and I feel like we're overly blessed here in the Bay Area. But there's a lot of cons where people will try it out one time and it seems to be successful, so they keep it going. And so you just kind of have to know, okay, I've got Sinisterverse coming up, or I have these other things coming up. What about like I see shows for I don't know if this would even qualify in the same category, but um, I'll see shows in Vallejo where there'll be a curiosity show where it's weird crap people make. You know what I mean? Do you consider those cons as well?
That it's kind of hit and miss, because they did try to do this a joint thing with the Powerhouse Comic Con in Pleasanton at the
Yeah.
Alameda Fairgrounds once. What they had the reptile pet expo, So you
Mhm.
could walk into one of those hangars and see all the Comic-Con vendor hall, but then literally the next hangar to it, it was a bunch of people selling their tarantulas and lizards and stuff, and you could
Right.
walk back and forth. And then they did that even again at SacCon up in Roseville. They haven't followed up since. They, for whatever reason, they didn't get along and they separated the events. But that one was kind of more interesting to see that. Yeah.
Right.
I know some other ones like Anime Plus in South San Francisco. They've had good luck having the K-pop and the shoe expo merge all together. So,
Oh
like in
wow.
each hangar, you'll have like nothing but the latest tennis shoes for sale at bulk discounts, and then you'll have the
Wow.
Comic Con in the middle. Then you'll have like a raging K-pop rave like nonstop in broad daylight. So, all kind of
Wow.
works out.
That's crazy. Do you see cons evolving, or are they staying pretty much stagnant? I mean, do you see other than I know every once in a while we'll see a con that tries this or tries that, but are cons like more and more trying to do different things to draw in
They,
people?
You're absolutely right. They are trying new things, and yeah, some of them are hit and miss. Like you've seen the anime car clubs
Yeah.
going around. Like I think that's been a great addition, especially for the cons that have the space. Like you've always
Right.
got a few extra spaces for cars inside the Moscone Center, so that's a great one there. Anime Expo, they also did that too, where they have it since it's a kind of outdoor, like a big fairground. They have the cars park outside for that too, so that's great thing to see. On the other hand, though, you will see like a tattoo expo. That's a separate event that
Mhm.
merged with a couple of Comic Cons. So that one's a little more peculiar, where you walk out of the artist alley and then you see a bunch of people laying on the tables getting like tattoos. Like, oh, by
Right.
the way, this area is only 18 plus, but the con is obviously full of families, so it's like they can't go to the whole event. So it's like, right.
Right.
They're like some people are there. It's they are all the tables are full, so there is a market for it, though. But yeah,
So for you, what makes a standout con? Is it I would guess for you it's more the participation of the people than it is the activities that are being thrown there. But what is it for you that makes a good con versus a bad con?
I think it's just like having like something to see the whole time is great. It is challenging at the really small cons. Like you can only walk so many laps around the vendor hall if that's all
Mm.
there is. But yeah, like some of the bigger ones where you have more people going to it, so you have more familiar faces you've seen to chat with. You can meet new people. You'll see online like influencers that are like from out of the country will come to visit just to host a panel to say hi and stuff like that. You'll see
Wow.
professional cosplayers at their booths there. So all these people that you see all over Instagram that seem like minor celebrities, like wow, they're a real person. You know?
Right. I haven't really thought about that, but I mean that's a whole nother thing, influencer cons. Because I know they have like TwitchCon and they'll have like yeah, VidCon and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, that's where it's making a big deal. Like one of the more recent carrier cons down in Alameda that's on the USS Hornet aircraft carrier, like they would have giant plasma screen TVs set up here and there just for like influencers that are outside the country, like will be like just like meeting people, which
Wow.
they'll each have a lot. It was something to see. There's a line to look at a TV screen, and then it's not the person; it's their avatar still, just like an instant. But you gotta believe they're real. You gotta believe. So
Right, you
think
must
about.
believe. I wonder, have they ever done like a music con? I've
Well,
never heard of that.
I would say kinda because a lot of the bigger ones will have a like a dance kind of rave thing go on at some point.
Mhm.
Sac Anime does that always on the Saturday nights where they go late in the evening.
Right.
Anime Plus in South San Francisco, they have the K-pop, which it goes like all day and into the night, so it never stops.
But that's mostly that's people dancing, right? That's not like me with like my favorite band where I could go up
Oh
and get
right,
autographs
yeah,
and
it's like a one DJ and then the room is dancing. Yeah, um, very. I don't think I've seen like a live band per se at these ones. There, I think that's where the appeal of going to like outdoor events like the parades comes in. Like For example, Vallejo has the Mad Hatter Christmas Festival every year, so you get to see the Vallejo band perform there. um,
Mm.
but yeah, so you look up local Fourth of July events there, you'll see some other bands performing in those, of course, there. But yeah, not so much stage performances that I've seen really.
That might be a whole new genre.
Whole
I
new thing,
feel
yeah.
like with this new like K-pop demon hunter craze, like I have a 7-year-old that is obsessed with Huntrix, and I feel like the fact that like they're going on tours now, like and they're doing like a huge like Huntrix and tour. I feel like that's probably going to be the next evolution of a lot of these cons.
I know Stack Anime this winter has Rumi.
Yeah, yeah,
Rumi,
uh, yeah.
she'll be there.
Yeah, no, and I have a coworker that's obsessed with Ruby, like, and so like I feel like that's going to be kind of like the next evolution where they're going to have a lot of these actual like valid artists. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, the songs that are in this K-pop Demon Hunter, like they're catchy, they're cool. I find myself jamming out with the 7-year-old on the way to school, like like you know, I'm singing Golden in my head on the way to work, and like after I drop her off, like I'm like going up, up. I'm like I'm singing. So it's like, but so I feel like that might be the next evolution. Is that's gonna like they're gonna like start having like these, you know, they'll go for signings and do kind of the traditional thing, but then they'll do a performance as well. Like I feel like that would be like kind of the next evolution of all that. Like that sounds like it would be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, fans are really into it because it all started, I think, with Marvel's. I think their very first movie was Blade back in the day with that
Yes.
intro electronic rave scene there, and then the Matrix kind of carried that forward with the whole electronic nightclub thing. So K-pop's just a small gap over to that. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Well, it's so funny. You mentioned the that Blade, because Blade was sort of the kickoff, and I don't want to get too sidetracked, but Blade is definitely like the Kickstarter for the
The Marvel
Marvel
Universe.
universe in general. And I feel like just like you said, like that kind of bridge with like the musical groups and actual legitimized like singers and vocalists that are doing these K-pop like anime series and whatnot. I think that's a total evolution that will bridge that kind of gap to like concerts and cons and the whole thing. So yeah.
So Kevin, if you had Kevin Con, what would you have at your show?
Oh, well, I really do love those shows in the malls where you get a variety of stuff to see there. Like you can just head over to the food court, take a break, and look at some other stores and stuff there.
Right.
Have all the people walk around the stores they have. But yeah, I mean, I would say I really do like just the generic Comic Con kind of feel. Like the ones that specify their specific thing are fine because people can still go to wherever they want to. I there is the cautionary tale of Walker Stalker Con that was in San Jose. The event itself went fine, but it really doubled down on the Walking Dead fandom, which unfortunately it was the next year when, spoiler alert, they introduced the character Negan, which is very cool, but then he killed off two other main characters, and you lost half the fandom right there. So, I mean, it would take something really like a doozy for that to happen in Star Wars because it's such an ingrained thing in culture. But yeah,
Right.
that's one of those kind of risky tales. Like, even though Comic Con started with a Star Trek was the thing, like I don't think that's why you see like Star Wars cons so much per se outside of Disneyland.
Right. Yeah, there are certain fandoms like I noticed this year we had Godzilla Con, and
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing Godzilla Con before this year. So it's very interesting to me how certain fandoms can grow of their own. You know what I mean? Like to me, like how far can you really go with Godzilla Con?
Well, that's the thing. It's one of those things that's got to branch out because you have all those kaiju fans for the Pacific Rim franchise.
Right.
They just need a few more movies to get as famous as Godzilla. Yeah, but yeah, there's got all the King Kong fans, of course. So there is that market there. Yeah, it's a little more niche, but yeah, it's there definitely.
There's a
feel
market
like
for everything, it seems.
I feel like the whole kaiju thing from Pacific Rim is just one good animated series away. Like if they can make a
Yep.
solid animated series from like based on the Pacific Rim universe, they would reinvigorate that whole market right there. Just
And
to
if they
go,
pull it off, they'll bring in the Power Ranger fandom to drive the giant robots. You know.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Well, maybe a kaiju con is what we need.
That's what you got. You need it.
I know because I know Benicia does the Harajuku cons like every month or whatever. Don't they do that?
Oh, they've been, yeah. Lately, they've been renting out the city park right
Right.
by the Safeway Shopping Center. They've been having these really big outside vendor parties there with a whole bunch of vendors for all different this and that things. I saw Hello Kitty once there.
Right.
It wasn't really a cosplay type of con, but it definitely has that same kind of atmosphere for just like any kind of artist, whatever you have. Bring your wares in a tent.
Right. I did that event show twice a couple of years ago. The theme one year was Star Wars, and we were right next to David Gonzalez. I think that's where I met him. And then we did really well that show. And then the next one, the theme was heroes and villains, which we thought we also fit in. But we did terrible that show. And then it just seemed to go to a lot of like the Harajuku, the My Little Pony, or Hello Kitty kind of stuff, which I know is super popular as well.
Yep. You gotta see a pop-up store every now and then in San Jose doing that. They always got a line at them.
Right. Do you have? I mean, it seems like you go to just about everything, though, right? Or do you have certain types of cons that you veer away from? Or
Oh, I mean, I try to go to a bunch of stuff there. Some stuff it gets advertised well, but it turns out to be a dud. Like I would go like to like Modesto, and there'd be like a con, but it would just be like a handful of like cars on display. So I was like, they tried.
right,
Yeah. So
right.
some stuff it does a better job advertising than it actually pulls off. So
Have you had any experiences? And I don't know if you would consider this Walker Con, like that, but I've heard about um Fandom Con was a dud. Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, that was actually pretty. Did you go to Fandom Con, Kev? I don't think you went to that one.
I think I must have missed that one. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that that's where I met Adasta. But the lineup was really weird. It was like 15 anime characters and then like 2 regular movies and just a couple of cartoons, but it was mostly anime, but not completely anime.
Yep.
Enough so that it was almost like kind of confusing.
Got it.
I would be interested in say, well, what do you think made fandom a dud? And that's a good question for you too, Kevin. What makes a con a bad con then?
It can get a little bit too niche with some of the celebrities brought in. One thing that was really cool is at San Jose one year, we got to see Captain Kirk himself.
Yeah.
Cool. He's still going around. But then the only other Star Trek actor there was the actress who played Tasha Yar from The Next Generation, who famously her character got killed off, and that was the whole thing. But it was so bizarre seeing Captain Kirk have a line out the door for $100 an autograph or photo, but then there was not a single person in line for Tasha. So it's one of those things.
I would be in line for Tasha Yar because I still have a huge crush on her. Like, her and 7 of 9 are like two of my like, yeah, dude. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I would be the only guy, but I would pay $100 tenfold to see Tasha Yar. So
yeah, I did hear the host of SAC Anime mention that once at one of their closing ceremonies, where they make suggestions of what celebrities they'll invite. Like, for some of them, like, even though a fan might be interested, they will say, like, we need to get the whole group to agree. Like, we need to get all the Power Rangers, or at least 2 of them or more. Otherwise, it's not enough attraction, kind of thing like that. Yeah.
So, do you think it's better when you have groups like that? Like, because I have been noticing, especially lately this year. I want to say this year I've noticed a lot, but because we're in a lot of the 40th anniversary of the 80s movies and stuff like that. So you see, like, they just did one of my favorites was Better Off Dead, They did a Better Off Dead, group, but there was only like 3 actors from the original movie. But
Oh yeah.
I've noticed God, what are there's been several of them this year where it's been reunions from movies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think they've really picked up on that in Broadway too. Like the Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss fandom. Like you
Yeah,
never see just one of those actors. You always see Brandon Rogers and someone else there because it's trying to draw in a bunch of people to make the most of, which is great because it makes the most of their time that you can see an actor from one show or the other or both and stuff like that. So it is very great. Like I mean, the voice actor from like Master Chief of Halo, yeah, he's big enough to bring in people by just himself. But yeah, it's better if you can get a few people to represent the fan, like get at least a couple of Game of Thrones names or something.
right.
Didn't Idle Hands do one recently, or like a while back? Remember Idle Hands?
I don't have
Oh, I don't know that one.
Man, that was one of your favorite movies. Idle Hands, like
back in the day. I mean, I don't know. I'm saying I don't know of a convention that was done.
I swear that they had a reunion like just fairly recently. Maybe I'm like tripping out, but I swear that they once saw us like and like they got the whole crew together for that movie, like from that movie. Like it was
Wow.
yeah, it was
Yeah, I know they had a Goonies one reunion this year.
Oh yeah.
So they had the like 16 Candles or one of some of those the John Hughes movies. Oh, Breakfast Club. That's what I'm thinking of. Breakfast Club.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously those would have been huge shows to go to. So do you prefer? Okay, now here's another question. Do you consider, every once in a while you'll have like it won't be a full blown convention, but it's like what we do at KyberCon, like where it's be like a little comic book store who brings in a wrestler or who brings in. Do you like to go to those kind of shows too?
Oh, those are nice ones to hang out with people too. Yeah. Um, I would see the local like Star Wars cosplayers would go to a comic book store, or they'd all dress up like Marvel characters and hang out. Just kind of
Right.
wave at cars as they drive by, kind of drum up business because they're doing like they're trying to grow small businesses, which is really important to have something downtown. It's kind of hard to draw people to Benicia because it's so many antique stores, not more of a variety of stuff.
Right, right, right,
Uh,
right.
but yeah, no, that's great there. I was the only downside. I wasn't such a big fan of those only because Doctor Octopus does not fit through all the doorways. So,
That makes sense. You have to scale down your costumes.
that's right. That's right.
And what do you see for the future of conventions, Kev? Do you feel like it's getting oversaturated, or do you feel like they're going to find new and inventive ways to keep it going and keep people excited?
They do need to keep people excited by offering things though, for sure. Like I think that's where the panels really came in. Like I remember there was this fantastic one at SAC Anime one year where they had this guy come in and talk about how like different religious deities compared to the different giant robots of anime and stuff like that. Like, well, is the pilot in the head or the chest? Because that determines whether it's emotional or critical thinking. It's like, wow, this is really
Wow.
steep for a Comic Con that was only $25. It's like, wow. But yeah, and then like the same thing, Sac Anime. Like there was a panel one year, it's like, what are furries was the only description. Line out the door. Seriously, the what is this now? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, every now and then there's just be like a topic that really grabs people. But I mean, then again, you'll see something that's like too niche, like what is this show that no one's heard of? Empty Room. So that does
Right.
happen too, though. Yeah,
It's
but
kind of hit or miss.
what I'm really seeing but I definitely think it's going to be a thing is Mark Zuckerberg has been trying to invest in Meta, augmented reality and the whole metaverse VR thing. I'm already seeing that for the furry cons of people just making their like avatar characters and just going into these VR chat rooms, and then there'll be like one giant plasma TV in one room of the actual con, so people can like talk to each other over a microphone with
Oh,
people that are
wow.
at the con, and then the 100 infinity plus people that are only online. So I think there's definitely going to be growth in that market per se, because at the end of the day, it's the big example I can think of is San Jose Convention Center. It's like if it could cram more people in there, it would. but it has
Right.
run out of parking space. So-
Right. Right. Right.
and
Right. Right.
not everyone is going to wear their 3 foot tall furry ears on the bus. So
Right. 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 Hey, speaking of which, that makes me think of when we had the pandemic. I remember I did not attend any of them. I don't know if you did, but there was the online conventions. Did you do any of those?
I tried. They did not know what they were doing. Was the this was all before Meta and VR though.
Right.
Like, all they had, what I would see would be like they would have one panel going, and then that was it. Like you could only watch that in your little like chat room point of view,
Right.
and there wasn't like, okay, can I switch over to another panel that's going on? Like no, it was like this panel, and then it was like a mini TV series basically. So
Right.
like
Right. Right.
if you were bored of that one thing, then you couldn't just like a con leave and go see something more interesting. So I think people like me would tune out and not go back to see more things. So they didn't really have it pat down yet. So I think now they're kind of getting a little better, but it's still very user run. It's so it's kind of chaotic, but people are making their own thing with it. So I'm very interested to see where it goes with that. But yeah, I do remember some real tough times there. Like I remember Carrier Con in Alameda on that ship. They were turning people away because they didn't have their COVID cards with them there, and not everyone had Kaiser that could just flip it open on their phone to show off their proof of vaccination there.
Right.
So
I was
um,
just about to ask. It's so weird that you mentioned Carrier Con because I was just about to bring up Carrier Con. How much does the location make a difference in the experience for you? Like Carrier Con was something that is you're on an aircraft carrier. I mean, there's going to
yep,
be limits to like how you can set up your vendors, and but
yep.
there's going to be other opportunities, right, to take pictures next to airplanes and things like
Oh,
that.
fantastic place. I recommend it for everyone. It's a museum open all year round. So you can always go, and they have other special events. Like they have a goth rock and roll concert every year there. So if you're looking for I'm not sure if it's just electronic music, I presume, but maybe they have some live bands there. But yeah, then they also have like the general Carrier Con, Anime Con that meets on it there. They have a Furry Con that meets once a year or two there. So there's different stuff there. You just gotta be able to walk up a good flight of stairs
Right, 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 right.
on the deck. But yeah, the location is a big deal for sure. I know they're talking in the news about moving that ship to San Francisco Bay. I suppose they'll get more tourism that way, but I would hate to see it leave the free parking that Alameda has because
Right.
it's a bunch of giant empty warehouses all around that ship of nothing. And it's like the city never figured out what to do with that space, so they have all this free parking, which is great every time.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you remember the old Rosie the Riveter factories from World War II? They're just like the most biggest buildings you ever see, but then they're just ghost towns. Like that's
Right,
kind of
right,
what
right,
a lot
right.
of Richmond and Oakland kind of has still with their waterfronts.
Right. Man, I feel like I know, I can't remember when we started, but I know for a fact we're well over time now, but I feel like there's 100 things I want to ask you. I'm going to try to be very selective and limit it down. How much does cost, when you're considering what con to go to, how much does the cost come into your mind? And if there's a
Uh,
show that you want to see, are you just going to go regardless and go, I don't care how much parking is, I don't care about the hotel room, I don't care. Now, I know in your particular situation, you were taking care of a family member, so that's why you didn't travel quite as far as you would like to and be able to get the hotels and things like that. But let's say that that wasn't necessarily a thing for you. Let's say you no longer had a family member to take care of, and you had the ability to go to Dragon Con across the country or the other places. First off, would you go to those other ones?
oh, that looks really fun because I've seen some really interesting looking hotels that they host these things at. Yeah, for the first time, I'm gonna see San Diego Comic Con this next July when that happens down in San Diego. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But that brings up exactly the problem you're talking about is that the prices they're asking for, like I think it was $700 a person to go to that, and that's just the con. That's not
You're taking the $700
for the
for
Wednesday through Sunday, the whole like almost a week thing. Yeah, it is up there. And then like I say, like that's not even the hotels yet, which I'm gonna be honest up front. I'm not crazy about the way I get that they sell out and all that. They're actually the way they do it is that they have a raffle from the get-go for buying tickets for the con, which luckily I got in this time. I hadn't in previous years because it always sells out. But then they're going to have another raffle later this spring for the blocked off hotels that the con is reserved. And I understand why, because I looked at the other hotels that haven't been bought by the con already. The rooms are already $1,000 a night. And these aren't like Disneyland Resort. These are just regular Hiltons, just in the downtown area. They already know they're gonna be sold out, and they're charging through the nose for it. So that's what I really like about Northern California. Like if you can just get a nearby Holiday Inn at a reasonable, normal price, or in my case, just drive to it. That's great. But yeah, that's why I have more power to all these cosplayers and stuff that go across the country and go to these $200 plus admission cons that are in Southern California and stuff. Like, it is really getting up there. I think San Francisco Fan Expo is probably the most expensive right now at about $120 for the weekend, I want to say.
That's
yeah, and that gives you the 3 days too. So it's still quite a bargain compared to what Southern California is doing.
Yeah, when you break it down like that, it's $40 a day. It's a little easier to manage, but still,
right. I know it's like these people need some money left over to buy the sabers once they get in there. So
right. Well, that was the other problem. Like my challenge is when I go to these shows, I'm always on the other end. I'm not in the the audience end, and so like in particular, I've been talking with other Saber vendors, and like over the last 2 or 3 years, like we've seen profits drop by almost half every year, which means that you have to now hustle more shows, but the shows are getting more expensive. So you're like, oh man, it's a catch-22, and a lot of times there's a balance between bringing in such big stars that people are spending all their money on the autographs and now have no money for the rest of the floor.
yeah. I thought it was crazy that one time Arnold Schwarzenegger did a Terminator 2 reunion at San Jose, was charging $400 for an autograph. But no, still, like you're gonna have a huge line because people have got to have it. And they
Mark Hamill last year was charging $450, and it sold out before the convention started.
Yep. It's only got so much time of the day.
That's true. I got certain artists, if you want their autograph, you better get it now.
Yeah. Well, I think another thing too is that they've had to make separate lines in some cases for the people that are like the individual fans and the other people that like have the cart full of pop heads that need to be signed so they can resell them. So that's one of those other little things that can kind of hold up the lines a bit.
Yeah. That's true. Hey, we're gonna start wrapping up. Like I said, we've run over. I've had such a fun time talking to you. What is in store for you this year? What do you got going this year? Are you working on any new characters, or are you gonna be rocking the ones that you've had? When I say year, I mean coming into 26.
Well, looking forward to cosplay in the park. That's another free event in San Jose every year. It's actually already going on where they have the Cesar Chavez Plaza right across from the San Jose Convention Center. It's decked out with these fantastic Christmas decorations that are totally free to walk around. There's vendors selling food and stuff there, an enormous Christmas tree, of course. And one day, I think it's the weekend of the 20th, if I'm not mistaken, it's on Facebook. A whole bunch of cosplayers will meet by the Christmas tree and take group pictures and hang out and walk around there. So that's really fun. Nice. I don't think I'm going to make it, but this weekend, I believe, is SAC Gamers Con at the Scars Right Center in Sacramento. So I know a lot of people are looking forward to going to that there. Yep. But my really big thing this year is I'm going to finally head down to Southern California and see what this San Diego is all about.
You better start saving money now.
Exactly.
Dude, I remember when San Diego Comic-Con first started, and it was just as cheap as like any of the other cons that we go to. And
hey, Lynn, you remember when we lived down there? I actually went when we lived down there.
Yeah.
Was it like 90?
98, 90, maybe 98, 99, something like that. I know I was there helping out at the 97 Comic-Con, the 97.
Wow.
And that was like their one. I think it was either the first or the second year. It was so bare bones There was no hotels. Like it was barely one of the convention centers. Like it was so bare bones. Watching it like evolve into what it's become, it's insane because I can't even afford to go to that thing now, and I used to go to it. Like now, it's blown up so much further. But I love that because of how big San Diego Comic Con's gotten, we still have our cheaper cons out in the outskirts. California probably has the biggest con conglomerate, if you will. Out here in the Midwest, we don't get a lot of cons, and
Texas has a lot of cons too.
Yeah, I feel like
Michigan, Midwest Fur Fest Furry Con's going on right now. There's always something somewhere.
So I feel like the Midwest is finally kind of hopping on the con train and like really starting to like do more cons and whatnot. So I definitely have to see more of that. Probably will never maybe in the next couple of years be able to afford to go to San Diego, but I love the fact that there are now other options for me to go. Like and just like at the Sandra Betty said, she said she'll be at that Gamers Con. That's just another type of con that's just, like I said, part of the evolution of these cons and whatnot.
Right. And then next year we got the big 5-0 for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Next year's the con, I guess, but the Star Wars is 77. So, yes, I'm excited about that. Kevin, thank you so much, man. I always have fun talking to you. I always feel like I get so much cool information from you, such cool perspectives. I always appreciate seeing you out there and you interacting with all the kids and all the people. So it is always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Always glad hanging out.
All right, for everybody, that has been our good friend, Mr. Kevin Hogan. Make sure to check him out if you are at a Northern California convention. You just may see Mau Mau or Doc Ock or Marty McFly.
Oh yeah.
All right, y'all. Woo!
Yeah. Well, like I said,
what do you think about that? You ready for a con?
I'm ready for a con, but I just have to say I reiterate this every single show. I reiterate this, no matter when or where you find the guests. Like I always have an awesome time with our guests. Like to hear their stories, to hear their contribution to this nerddom that we all like love and live in. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. So
well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, dude. Like
I'm fortunate enough to be around interesting people.
You are. And you know what? Interesting people gravitate toward interesting people, and that should say something about yourself, sir.
Oh, thanks, man.
So yeah, man, that was cool, bro. Like I would love to bump into him at a con. Like I said, I'm glad he sent me more pics, and sent me some more stuff to see his broad and wide array of cosplay, like from anything from Star Trek to like you said, to Marty McFly. Like I thought that was so cool. Well, you know what? I know we did run a little long, so I do want to get into the flow of the show.
Yeah, let's get the flow going.
Yeah, so let's get into let's get the flow going. So,
and once again, as always, we want to thank our producer, Mr. James Kaiser, aka Darth Cephalus, for bringing us a fantastic flow artist, as he always does. We could not. He is a huge part of the show. In fact, it was kind of funny. I was looking the other day. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he's been on the show as long. He's been on the show for like most of the time, 4 years, I believe.
Yeah,
he was on before Mezzo was on. So
yeah, and he makes sure to get us some quality flow artists. Our flow artist this week is Sierra Nash. So let's get into that.
Well, hello, Miss Sierra Nash.
Yes.
Hello. I will say my one little bit of criticism there is I would like to have seen that with the black behind her instead of like all those flashing lights. It was a
Yeah.
little distracting from like the material she was using.
Yeah. It kind of took away from it a little bit, but that's because she was on stage
Festival.
at a yeah, at a festival. Which by the way, I had to put in my own music because there was a lot of expletives that were going on with the crowd
Oh well.
with the crowd that was in there. They were good expletives. They were hyped, but they were just they're using some language that I don't know if would have been appropriate
Appropriate for a family show.
for our family show. But it was like I said, it was due to excitement and it was due to they were encouraging her by all means. It wasn't discriminatory by any means. But yeah, there was no way I was going to use the audio from that. So yeah, man. But yeah, I thought it was cool. Like I said, because she was at a festival on a stage, she was probably getting, was probably getting paid to be there, so she didn't have a choice in her background or backdrop. But I thought what she was doing was awesome. And again, like I said, the crowd that was that was there thought she was doing an awesome job too. So, yeah. So
once again, thank you, Mr. Darth Cephalus, for bringing us a fantastic flow with Sierra Nash. Make sure to go check out her stuff on all her social medias.
Yeah, I know she's on Facebook.
Our boy Joe Mara is in the background. You don't get to see him, but he helps out a lot with the show. He's going to be doing more work, more editing for the show. So you'll probably some co-hosting too. Once I get back into the show circuit, so you will be seeing more of our boy Joe Mara in the background.
Most definitely.
Man, it's funny. This show, like usually, like I know when we started with Marissa, I like try to keep it right at about an hour 10. It's funny, like all of our episodes always expand out to
they go pretty long, dude.
If you guys are enjoying this, let us know. If you would like to see differences in the format, maybe you don't like how much we're talking about, bantering back and forth.
Yeah,
maybe
if you want us to shut up, just let us know. Please let us know. We do appreciate you guys like in your viewership, and we do appreciate you guys tuning in. So we do want to make sure that we are that we're
doing a good job.
We're catering to you guys. So and we want to make sure that we're doing a good job. So like I said, if we're going a little too long, like even now I'm too long-winded. I should probably remove myself from the chat. No, I'm kidding. But yes, please let us know if we're going too long. I did want to say that like we do get a little passionate sometimes, especially myself, about some of the topics we talk about, and so that tends to cause us to run a little long. So like I said, my apologies. I do get I get a little.
And remember too, our opinions are our own personal opinions. There is place for everybody's opinion.
Of course,
there is a array for other people's stories, just not necessarily mine.
And I do appreciate people chiming in when we are talking about these things, and also
we'd love to hear more of your comments down below too.
Exactly. So like, don't ever feel bad about chiming in, and definitely correcting us when I'm not perfect, and I know I make mistakes when it comes to all the stuff we talk about. So definitely like chime in, correct us, whip us into shape, give us slaps on the wrist. Like I don't care how to, like whatever you got to do. We do appreciate your feedback as well, because like I said, you guys make us and give us what we want, what we need. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, I think that's pretty much it for tonight.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Like,
I keep reiterating, and we're gonna make a commercial for it, or rather, you guys are gonna make a commercial for it. But I want to reiterate and remind everybody that January 4th we have John Morrow. I say that because a lot of times I don't think people realize that this is an interactive show, meaning half of the show is your comments in the message. So if you have things that you would like to say to our special guest, please feel free to always. That's the fun of the show.
I'm going to put those comments up, and so that the guests can see and that everybody else can see. So like your comments won't go unnoticed. So please,
and if you'll notice, we started putting the comments on stage. You can see them there floating under uppercuts.
Yeah.
But be like the past comments people left in. So when they leave a comment, we'll pop it up here. You'll see it underneath me, but
Yeah.
then it ends up staying on the board over here to the side.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. This is my prediction, uppercuts. By this time next year, I would like to see that board is constantly moving.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't remember what our viewership was at last week, but I feel like it was up a lot more, and I feel like I want to keep that continuance of that incline. I want to keep going. So we definitely want to build that viewership, and I do want to build those comments, and I don't want anyone to feel like their voice is unheard, because we do appreciate you guys. Like I personally appreciate you, and I know that guy appreciates you. That guy. I don't know where I'm pointing at, but I know. Go appreciate you as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. On that note, I feel like we should, leave with a
Kybercave.com.
like kybercave.com. There we go. We can do that. Let's see. Hold on. Before we leave, I just want to throw this comment up.
You had something. We had a little bonus thing or something this week, did we?
I mean, I do have something to lead to for us to leave out on. But I just want to throw that comment by at the Sandra Betty. Those two comments. She'll be at GamerCon as well. Yes,
the Long family. Gotta love them.
Yeah. So yeah, I do have something to leave us out with, and yeah, here we go. And thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys.
Peace.